We thank you for honoring our invitation to this all-important press briefing, during which we shall be adding our voice to those of individuals and organizations that have weighed in on a matter of great national importance. In this instance, we are referring to the indictment of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Emefiele, for terrorism, financing, sundry economic crimes, and abuse of office in a manner that has hurt the interests of Nigeria and the well-being of citizens. We consider this indictment worthy, coming from the Department of the State Services, DSS, which is convinced of what it had found to the extent that it approached a court for leave to apprehend the near-fugitive CBN governor. We invite you to note that the crippling fuel shortage in the country has partly eased after that agency read route out to the marketers that were using fuel queues to sabotage the nation. Our groups noted that instead of challenging the DSS with proof of his innocence, Mr. Emefiele is rather banking on organized protests by his associates on the streets. It is equally obvious that the CBN governor is attempting to alter the issue at hand by turning the entire issue of his involvement into a media drama in the expectation that he can distract Nigerians from demanding action on his indictment. In our view, there have been a handful of seemingly unrelated issues that we believe Nigerians must now demand that Mr. Emefiele provides explanations for. Taken in isolation, these are like routine matters, but when interrogated against the background of the DSS indictment, the consequences are alarming because it is obvious we are entrusted the most sensitive part of our national life to a man that has no qualms with making profit from anywhere. First, national intervention program handled by the CBN were largely used to benefit people known only to Emefiele and his associates. The programs were also likely exploited as cover to funnel funds to questionable recipients, which could explain the how and the why of terrorists. He had engaged in some of the crimes the DSS now wants to arrest him for as a means of creating scenarios to campaign with. But after being rejected and told off by the public opinion, he became vindictive to the point where he no longer cares whether his actions destroy Nigeria or not. Emefiele's economic sabotage is well documented as he has plunged Nigeria into untold suffering. We have watched in alarm as he moved from one deliberate and calculated monetary policy bungled to the other. While this may seem like ineptitude or crass incompetence on the surface, we now know that these destructive policies were implemented to enable Emefiele's associates to benefit from the damage he is causing the country. The latest of this misadventure is the introduction of recolored 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes, which Emefiele associates have again hijacked to the detriment of citizens. Contrary to the assurances he gave President Muhammadu Buhari to secure approval for the exercise, commercial banks ran short of available notes. Within 6 hours of the December 15, 200 naira note takeoff date, while all the touted benefits were proven untrue within 48 hours. What we find most baffling is the temerity with which Mr. Emefiele is attempting to precipitate civil unrest with a draconian cash withdrawal policy that is programmed to inevitably incite nationwide protests and breakdown of law and order. The cashless policy desirable but should be demand-driven, which means Nigerians should be allowed to grow into this culture of electronic transaction and not coerce into it in a manner that will cause them to revolt. But it seems Emefiele is precipitating a mass revolt with the draconian measures announced so far, which can only indicate he is working for an interest other than that of the federal government of Nigeria. Could he be working for the opposition? On the strength of the foregoing stand-up for Nigeria with the National Conscious Movement, is hereby demanding that Mr. Emefiele resigns his position as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria within the next 24 hours. If Mr. Emefiele has not resigned upon the expiration of our 24-hour ultimatum, we shall reconvene to unfold measures that will ensure he complies. We are confident Nigeria will not enter the year 2023 with Emefiele at the helm of affairs at the CBN.